Hey, hello. So my name is Rosaline, as you just said, and I am an autistic trans woman, which is, to be honest, a sentence that has taken me a very long time to be able to say, which I'm sure many of us would find familiar. So I'm speaking today on behalf of Trans Healthcare Action, a trans-led, volunteer-run community organization advocating for an Ireland where all trans people can access the care we need to thrive. We know gender affirming care saves lives, right? The evidence shows us that, and many of us have experienced that firsthand. But today in Ireland, we confront a system that fails us, a system that enforces an aggressively invasive gatekeeping model of care. This system harms all of us, but it especially discriminates against and excludes neurodivergent people. The evidence itself is damning. Irish trans healthcare is in crisis. From a wait list of a decade long with damaging psychiatric evaluations waiting for us at the end and the denial of essential services from our GPs, we face inhumane barriers at every turn. We are denied care simply for being who we are. We're denied simply for being different. We can be denied care just for being neurodivergent. We're forced to look abroad for gender affirming hormone therapy and surgeries because this care essentially doesn't exist here. And that's not by accident. It was built this way by those who wish to control our bodies and control our lives. Many are stranded on waiting lists with no sign of change, worried they may be forgotten about or excluded. Some people have been denied care at primary levels. Some worry about the cost of using the fairly limited private systems. Many neurodivergent trans people worry they will be disregarded or not taken seriously when they do finally manage to speak to someone. They worry their voices will not only not be heard, they will be actively excluded and rejected. This is a system that has abandoned all of us and left us to fend for ourselves. Over a decade of waiting for care is just no care whatsoever. But we cannot become disillusioned with these injustices. Instead, we really need to channel our collective outrage into action, fueled by the vision of a better future. We must fight for an affirming system where we as trans and neurodivergent people can freely be ourselves. We must fight for policies that protect our bodily autonomy and our access to care. We must fight to give trans and neurodivergent people power over their own care. We must fight for a future that we can just simply exist in. That future is possible. We know what needs to change. The research and our own lived experiences make that abundantly clear. Trans Healthcare Action's vision for the future is one rooted in the informed consent model, community based care, and co production. This means an end to the gatekeeping, an end to pathologizing things, and an end to centralization. We want an Ireland where we visit our primary care providers to access gender affirming hormone therapy and blood tests. This means your GP, your nurse, your local sexual health clinic. They can provide this care and they should already be providing it. It's time for us to build a system that upholds our agency and autonomy, and we must be consulted at every interval when creating it. Neurodivergent trans people must have a seat at that table. Our vision extends beyond just ideas. It's a call to action, a call to dismantle the current structures that deny us our fundamental rights. It's time for us to reclaim our humanity and to demand access to self determined trans healthcare. And we do this through collective power. Through our own medical advocacy, we've been building a database of GPs who provide gender affirming health services. We recently published a guide on alternatives to gender GP, and our medical researchers co authored a paper debunking the flawed CAST report. In our community advocacy, we've been collaborating with organizations from grassroots to global. One example being our open letter to the HSC, signed by 22 local and international organizations. Our political advocacy has also been pivotal. We've briefed policymakers and advocates in Leinster House, which led to trans healthcare getting raised on the floor of the Senate and the Dáil, and developed a guide on talking to your TDs. Each day, our movement grows and our voices get louder, but we can only continue to turn up the volume by adding more voices to the chorus. So we would need people to join us at Trans Healthcare Action. Our pride is a radical act of resistance against the forces that seek to marginalize us, to discriminate against us, and to pathologize us. We fight for a world where all trans and neurodivergent people can live with dignity and without fear. We carry our pride with us as a beacon of hope and a symbol of our collective resilience. There should be nothing about us without us. We have the power to change what we cannot accept, but to do that, we need as many people as possible to join us, to talk to your TDs, and to volunteer with THA. So you can open your phone, you can go to transhealthcare.ie or transhealth.ie on Instagram and send us a message. It's time to liberate trans healthcare now. Thank you.